There'll be a little disturbance, but we're okay with that. It won't be much. No, you're not. Oh.
Watching Trump speak, his whole career, in fact, is like having one of those low-flow toilets that never quite gets the job done.
And so anytime this maniac speaks, it is a joint session. It's a joint session. It's an edible session. It's a raid the medicine cabinet for anything to dull the pain kind of night. And tonight was no exception. His speech started late, and I guess they were waiting for that last coat of shellac to dry on his face, but...
His speech was classic tiny fingers, all sociopath, no substance. And whom better to point that out than Jimmy Kimmel?
Mr. Speaker, members of Congress, please welcome Diaper Donnie, Man Boom Mussolini, Captain Bone Spurs, Mar-a-Lardo, the notorious P.I.G., General Von Schitzenpants, Putin's Pork Bucket, His Flatulency, the President of the United States, Donald Jellybelly Trump.
Jimmy Kimmel has a long history humiliating Trump, and he loves it.
Trump touted many of his executive orders, including an order he issued on Saturday that makes English the official language of the United States. Finally, we can speak English again in this country. And this, I have to say, this makes sense because say what you will about Donald Trump, the man has a masterful way with the language.
The state of California passed an outrageous law declaring their whole state to be a sanctuary. In the failing New York Times by anonymous, more Americans could receive heart, lung, and liver transplants when they gaze upon Yosemites, the men and women who selflessly enlist. I hope they now go and take a look at the oranges they sacrifice every day for the furniture. To put defensive missiles to that beautiful Orion space capsule. Trump. Hurrah, MAGA. God bless the United States.
United States.
Then there was this from last year's Oscars, remember?
And at the end of the night, Jimmy Kimmel took a minute to read former President Trump's reaction to his hosting.
I just got a review, and has there ever been a worse host than Jimmy Kimmel at the Oscars? His opening was that of a less than average person trying too hard to be something which he is not and never can be. Get rid of Kimmel and perhaps replace him with another washed up but cheap ABC talent. See if you can guess which former president just posted that on Truth.
You see, Kimmel is a famous comic and talk show host, but his history with Trump is more than business, it's personal. Kimmel made several emotional pleas against Trump and Republicans' vows to overhaul Obamacare back in 2017. He revealed in May of that year that his son was born with a rare heart defect. Kimmel emphasized it in a tearful monologue that before Obamacare, many people may not have been able to get health insurance if they had a pre-existing health condition. Kimmel devoted many of his nightly monologues to urging Congress to vote against an overhaul of the health care legislation, saying that Trump would sign anything if it meant getting rid of Obamacare. Kimmel pointed out, rightly so, that Trump had no idea what was in the Obamacare bill, and he didn't even know it was sponsored by two Republicans, Lindsey Graham and Bill Cassidy. So Kimmel did what he does best and mocked MAGA's hate for Obama, fueled by their ignorance.
We're talking about health care today, and which plan do you support, Obamacare or the Affordable Care Act?
The Affordable Care Act.
And what is it about Obamacare that you do not like?
I just think that there's a lot of holes in it, and it needs to be revamped. I think
and you think
hasn't been thought out.
You think the Affordable Care Act is a better plan than Obamacare?
Better, but I'm not happy with that either.
So the Affordable Care Act is more affordable than Obamacare?
Just the name says it all.
Right. Do you agree with the Affordable Care Act or Obamacare?
The affordable.
And why do you prefer the Affordable Care Act over Obamacare?
I just don't agree with the whole Obamacare.
Do you know that Obamacare and the Affordable Care Act are the same thing?
No, they're not. Thanks, you made me look stupid.
But it got even better when Kimmel asked MAGA if they opposed DEI.
We're trying to get a feel for people where they stand on the issues. Do you believe schools should be teaching critical race theory?
No.
Why not?
I feel like, honestly, it brings about more
Racism, bringing more issues around that don't need to be.
What is critical race theory for people that don't understand it?
See, I really don't even know. I'm assuming. Can you explain it a little bit to me, honestly?
Yeah, but last night was easy pickings for Kimmel and basically anyone with a double-digit IQ. Trump's embrace of Putin, his economy-sinking tariffs, calling for an attack on Panama, Greenland, and Canada, made him look like an undisciplined 6-year-old bullying toddlers. And man, are they toddlers. Lindsey Graham, a spineless interpretation of a man, tweeted Trump should have a third term. But of course, who really knows who or what Miss Lindsey really is?
I think he's a kook. I think he's uninformed. Here's why I'm with Trump.
Well, don't you love me?
But of everything Trump said and did last night, perhaps the most obscene moment was this.
And to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service.
That was Trump using this sick child as a political prop.
And I let myself feel joy about DJ, and I hope he's alive for another, 95 years, right? And I hope he lives and the life he wants to live. He wants to be a cop. He knows what he wants to do. And maybe when you have childhood cancer, that crystallizes for you. And I hope he has a long life as a law enforcement officer. But I hope he never has to defend the United States Capitol against Donald Trump's supporters.
Nicole is 1,000% right. And if you don't believe me, ask one of the cops who was forced to watch this shit.
Yeah, no, I mean, Jim, I love you. And I have nothing but respect for you, but you for making me watch that.
Fanone was one of the 100 cops who was beaten and required hospitalization, and he subsequently had a heart attack due to that beating. But that's just the first part of Trump's obscene use of this sick child. Trump's cuts to NIH are forcing cancer survivors to seek help via GoFundMe and other charitable resources after Musk and Kennedy are allowing this.
Hi, my name's Kyle, and I'm a veteran, a father, and a cancer thriver. 5 years ago, I was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer and given just weeks to live. Now, I got lucky because I got into a clinical trial that saved my life. This clinical trial involved experimental immunotherapy drugs and was funded by the National Institutes of Health. You heard me say was funded because Doge has taken a chainsaw to cancer and other medical research without a thought given to the people it impacts. My cancer treatment is now at risk. So is the treatment of millions of other Americans, including veterans and children who are suffering from cancer and other life-threatening diseases. This is not acceptable. This is not how we Americans take care of our family, our friends, and our community. Join us, make your voice heard on social media, in your representative's office, and out in the street. I'll see you out there.
But there's even more to Trump's use of this sick kid to fake empathy and hide his narcissistic sociopathy.
Trump is under fire over reports that he used money from his charitable foundation to pay business expenses. Donors are told that contributions go to medical charities, but Juliana Goldman found that some of it has gone to care for Trump's legal ills.
In 2019, Trump was forced to pay more than $2 million in court-ordered damages to 8 different charities for illegally misusing charitable funds at the Trump Foundation. Trump was ordered to pay $2 million to 8 different charities, one of which was the Children's Aid Society.
It's very simple.
Look, we're in for a long 4 years, but Jimmy Kimmel has tapped into something that bothers Trump more than anything.
Bloated and fat and disgusting.
He hates being laughed at more than anything.
See if you can guess which former president just posted that on Truth.
And that is how we destroy Donald Trump.
Go f*** yourself.
Oh, I like that.
Damn right.
You're a nasty person.
I'm as mad as hell.
I don't want to talk about this stuff.
Am I wrong?
Yes.
Tick-tock.
You're in a lot of trouble, Donnie.
I think he's crazy.
I'm Chip Franklin.